It's a fantastic morning. How are you doing? Wednesday is here with us again. My name is James Okumu. Karibu kwa Financial Clinic. Bench nimesafisha, nimeweka hapo nje na nimesanitize. Mrs. Kumane, Financial Clinic comes here every Wednesday. We have sessions where we talk about money and just getting a deeper understanding about investments, about money, about growth. And it's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, 2020 has been a very harsh year financially for a good number of people because of the COVID-19 pandemic. People have lost jobs, people have lost businesses. A lot has been happening where the economy of the country is concerned, and even personal finances have been greatly affected. Watu wamehama 2020. Hey, personally, I also had to move this year. So a lot of people have moved houses, changed a lot of things, trying to just gain equilibrium again so that you can start to rebuild again. Now, are you part of a chama? Si chama ya siasa. Are you part of a chama? A lot of women belong to chamas. In fact, I think most women belong to more than one chama. You have women who are part of 3, 4, 5 chamas. So are you part of a chama? We've seen men also coming up with chamas, mostly for investment. So today we want to talk about chamas, and I want to find out from you, how has your chama performed in 2020? What are some of the challenges you've experienced as a chama? What about the socio-economic support? Those are some of the things we are going to be looking at. So my question to you this morning as we kick off our conversation is, how has your chama performed in 2020? Let me know on SMS 20316, WhatsApp 0786316316. I have an amazing guest who will be joining us shortly as we dig into this, and I would really love for you to be a part of this discussion. Share with us some of the challenges, some of the victories your chama has experienced and the members of your chama have experienced in this 2020. It is Wednesday, the Financial Clinic. Today we are looking at your chama, and I'm asking you the question, are you part of a chama? If you are part of a chama, tell me, how has your chama fared in 2020? I have one response here that says, I am in 3 chamas. I told you, women don't belong to one chama. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in 3 chamas. One is for glam, where one has to buy household stuff. I managed to buy a dining table through it. We base contributions on trust. Okay, at least you are able to do something productive this year with your chama. And more SMSs are coming in on 20316 and WhatsApp 0786316316. So this morning, we are going to be hanging out with the Assistant Chair of Anchor 11 Investment Chama. This is Wanjiro Gishia. Wanjiro, how are you doing?
I'm well, Pastor Jimo. Thank you.
Good to have you on the show again. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how did your chama fare this year? Because this year has come with a lot of challenges, especially financially, people losing their jobs, businesses shutting down. Chama yenyu imeperform namna gani? Hello, can you get me?
Yes, I can get you.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah, it's been an interesting season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and by the grace of God, let me say we have survived, or we have pulled through.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say that we have pulled through, because we are still there and every member is still on. Okay,
maybe you can tell us a bit about your chama so that we can get into perspective. What is Anchor 11 all about?
Okay. Anchor 11 is an investment group, or let me say investment chama, that we started in 2011 as a merry-go-round.
Okay.
We were 6 then. Some of us were newly married, some of us were from college. So we just came together in the bit of empowering each other, and also having that your car sent at the corner. So most of them did not have a job. I didn't have a job by then.
Okay.
And we came together, started doing merry-go-round. We did merry-go-round to 2013. Started with 500, then we went to 2,000. And then finally, when we started to settle for investment, we went to 5,000 per month. And it's been an interesting journey, which has enabled us grow financially,
Oh, we are losing you again. We seem to be having some issues with the connection there. Let's see if we can get it to work. As we work on that, maybe you could tell us how your Chama has responded in 2020, or maybe your Chama has come through for you because of the financial challenges you've had this year. Your response is coming in via SMS on 20316, WhatsApp on 0786 316 316. Ah, okay, I can see you're back. You were saying something before the network decided to disconnect us. Can you hear me now?
I know. Yes, I get you.
Yes. So your Chama, is it women only? Are you mixed?
No, women only. Women. We tried to have men on board in 2013.
Uh-huh.
And it's another story. But we are women alone.
So are there any members of your Chama who are affected financially this year because of the pandemic?
I've been one.
Oh.
Of course, yes. Those who have been in business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
we have a number because we have how many? 2 of us were in business totally, as in you're not employed, and so we have been affected.
Okay.
The rest have been in employment. We thank God. Most of them, they're still. None of them was dismissed at work.
Okay.
They've been there.
Okay. So how did you manage, you and the other person whose businesses were affected? How did you manage to continue making contributions to the Chama? Was it a challenging season, or did you have another source of income that enabled you to?
Our Chama is that we have grown in a level that we don't have pressure. I think the journey of working 9 years has made us have trust on each other, and also we have that grace for each other. So there have been no pressure of contribution. The only thing you just hear the chair saying is that kindly, as we come for the GM in January, let's have our contribution in place. But there is no that push. We have that common understanding.
Okay. That
has been number one. Number two, for the things about loans, we had to freeze the loans for 3 months, no interest for the members and also for those friends that were brought on board to take loans. So we freeze 3 months, no interest, and we've given each other the grace period to get back, so that everybody can be able to clear the loans. So we are all looking into January is when we usually have our GM.
Yeah. That
at least all loans should be cleared. Yeah, and everybody's contribution be at par.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. It seems like your Chama has not really struggled. Do you know any other maybe your friends or even family members who belong to other Chamas? And I know you talk to women about Chamas. Do you know any other Chamas that have been greatly affected by this pandemic, and what challenges did they face?
We can say our Chama has not really been affected, because it has been affected in the sense that we have not done business this year we do.
Okay. There we go again.
We decided to stop loaning. So we didn't loan to anybody because we were not sure if we'll get our money back. And also loaning to members and members' families is one thing that brings interest to our group. Also getting jobs. So we did not get any job this year. It's just been flat. So I know as we check at our financial year this year, we'll not have a lot of profits like we have done in the previous year.
Okay.
So that has been one. Secondly, yes, there are Chamas that have been affected. I work closely with women.
Yes.
And also I'm in a network of Christian Women in Business network where we interact. So I was asking them around, and some people told me there are Chamas that people have had to drop. If the contribution was 2,000, some had to scale it lower to 100 to 1,000. So it's true, Chamas have been affected, but most of the women have an understanding, and also I think everybody understands this year. So unless one says I cannot make it, I don't think if anyone can be pushed out. But there are those chamas which are very tough, very tough. If
Yeah.
you cannot be at par with the contribution after 6 months, then you go out. Yeah, so that's the response that I got actually when I knew I'm coming to this show.
Okay. There's something you said earlier on. Now talking about your chama. So basically, it means the whole of this year, your income revenues as a chama have been affected.
Yes.
So how does that affect the chama as a whole?
Pardon, I'm sorry, I guess the network is really playing a toll on us.
Oh, yes. I'm saying, from what you've said earlier, then it means that the income revenues of your chama have been affected this year.
Yes.
So now I'm just wondering, how has that affected the members of the chama and the chama as a whole?
Okay, let me say for our case, this was the year that we had been really waiting for. Because you remember earlier when I came to the show, I said 2020 was when we were now to declare the dividends, to start sharing the profits.
Yes.
And I don't want to preempt anything to the members, but you look at it and you're like, I don't see anything coming during this coming GM. Because sure, if there have been no business, there's nothing to share, and you cannot now start going back to eat what you had made in 2019. You're like, no, let's keep this and see what 2021 has in store for us, so that if we start sharing the little that we have, then if business comes, means that we will not have any cash to do business with. We will not have a capital.
Yeah.
We'll now again go back to the members again. So it's really a challenge, especially when you will get a business, because you need money.
Yes.
So that means somehow we might go back again, apart from the contribution, because that is usually what we do. If we get a business and the money that we have cannot cater for the business, what we usually do, we go back and put more.
Okay.
And then later we get it back.
Okay. For you and the other lady whose businesses were affected, did you get any kind of social support and encouragement from the chama members? And if you did, how did that help?
Actually, I've remembered we are 3, not 2. Okay. Yes, we do, because we have an WhatsApp group. We had a season where we took time to pray for each other. We had a Zoom meeting now talking about actually what pandemic has done to us. So there was that bit of moral support. There was that bit of being encouraged, and you're like, no, we shall get over this.
Yes.
And we are going to remain in touch. And sometimes you cannot. Not everyone talks in the group. You can find you're talking to one member and you're like, wow, I am not sure about this. And somebody's telling you, don't worry, you might get a deal, and you clear your balance in once. Yeah, so there's that. We have a support system that I can attest to it, and I believe any other member can attest to it.
Okay. Would you say the year might have been harder for you as an individual if you are not part of this chama in terms of giving you that kind of support?
Okay, yeah, I would say that because it's amazing that most of the people that are in the chama are also they've grown to be like a family, close member.
Yeah.
So even if it was not in the chama, I would have gotten their support in the other angle. And as I had mentioned earlier, we are a team of believers. Yeah. So it has played a good role in that, because we have more than just being a chama.
Yeah.
We have a friendship. We have a fellowship.
I like that. And the reason I'm asking that is sometimes when we talk about chamas, we tend to focus sometimes a little bit too much on the money aspect, and we forget that aside from the money, there are strong bonds and relationships and a support system that people come together to form. And for me, my thinking is, with the challenges we've had this year, that has really been put to the test. Because if the money is not there, Do we chase somebody away? You know, if they're at a place where they can't manage, as a Chama, how do we come around them to give them the encouragement and the support that they need? Because if there's ever a year people have needed support, it's 2020.
True.
Yes.
True.
If you have any questions for my guest this morning, 20316 is the SMS line. WhatsApp number is 0786 316 316. And I'm asking you the question, how has your Chama fared in 2020? Shortly, we'll talk about, we'll get into lessons. I'm sure you've learned some lessons this year as a Chama, and even the different people you've been talking to. How did your Chama fare in 2020? I'm hanging out with the Assistant Chair of Anchor 11 Investment Chama. This is Wanjiro Gishia with us in studio via Zoom. I have a comment here from Mamambula. You say I'm in 3 chamas, 2 just for money and 1 is a prayer chama. The one that was the most affected was the prayer one because we could not meet to pray. But in our WhatsApp chat, we would post prayer points for the month. And then on the material day, we would all retreat in our respective prayer closets. The money ones are still operational. Thanks for that feedback, Mamambula. I'm just wondering, Wanjiro, even as I think about this, before we talk about the lessons, Chamas usually meet. Some meet monthly, some meet after every quarter or something like that. How did you guys manage that? Ama nyinyi mnakutananaga once a year?
No, we usually meet 4 times in a year, but also we meet when there is a necessity, that needs us to be there, so we call an emergency.
Okay, so how did you do that this year? How did you meet?
COVID came.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been meeting on Zoom. We had one meeting on Zoom, and then the rest we have been meeting on WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group. Okay. So that's where we communicate. Yeah, so when there's a challenge or there's a need, you communicate and every member communicate. When there's this that is needed, everybody gives a feedback on the WhatsApp group. So I think we have been on because of the social media.
That's good. That's good. You know, when COVID hit, a lot of things had to change. Some of the rules and regulations of how we do life changed. Children had to study from home. Some people were working from home. I'm just wondering, did you guys have to adjust any of the rules in your Chama to accommodate each other during this period? Ama the rules remained intact?
No, we did. One was the rule was we will not give out loans. That was one of the rules. Yeah. So as much as we really desired, we freezed the loan, the loan what requirement or whatever. No loaning. What we also was that the meetings, of course, we were to have a trip to one of us in Kakamega. So there was no visits, nothing. They usually visit whatever. Yes, for those who got babies, no visit whatsoever. So everything took a still, and everything is to be reviewed in January. Yeah, that was one of the things, and no meetings, but there was no other rule that was added.
Okay. Looking back at this year as a Chama, what can you say are some of the important lessons you have learned?
As an individual and as a Chama, one of the things I would...
We are losing you again. Today's connection is not very good, but we will see what we can do, even as we try.
Understanding.
Okay, you need to go back. We had lost you.
Oh, I'm really sorry about the network.
It's
I'm
okay.
Really sorry.
It's okay.
So as I was saying,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's play some music as we try and sort this out.
The pandemic came.
Umekuja tena ukapotea. Aya, let's go back to the beginning. We'll make it, don't worry, we'll make it, yeah.
One lesson.
Yeah.
It's okay, one lesson, being accommodative. Because now you find that this season hit almost all of us, even for those who are not they were still in employment, let's say they were not retrenched or whatever, you know, you don't know the couple, the other side, the husband, the other side, the family members. So somehow everyone was affected in a way. So that was one of the challenge, one of the lessons I would say that can be a challenge is that you just be accommodative to each other. The second one, and I believe everyone, we are taking this home, you cannot depend on one way of getting income.
Yes.
Hey, it has to go to 3 or 4.
Yes.
Because now, if you have one way of getting income, that's it. So where do you get the money for the Chama or for the extra need you need? So I think this is a lesson all of us are carrying as Chama, as individual. We cannot rely on one income. We have to diverse. We are taking on it. We have to diverse. And even as a Chama, it has brightened our mind in the sense of what else can we do?
Yes.
If a pandemic comes, what else can we do? How else can we be getting money? How else can we keep the Chama running when a pandemic comes? So those are the 3 lessons I would say. Being accommodative, getting diverse ways of getting income as an individual and also as a Chama. What can we do during a pandemic? Yeah.
Okay. Are there some lessons you would say you have learned that maybe may cause you to change a thing or two about how the Chama functions even as we look into the future?
As an individual or once as a leader, one of the lesson I would say, being a leader, you have to think ahead of the members. Yeah. So somehow would say when the COVID hit, it hit all of us, and even as a leader, you are like, yeah, what can we do? But thinking, being a step ahead than the members will always come handy. So I would say I would want always to be a step ahead, because maybe I would have given ideas of how we would have conquered, or how we'd have an income generating for the Chama. Because sincerely speaking, everybody went home to think, what will I do with my family? What will I do? And the Chama will remain there as like, okay, to survive, he need to sort it. You see? Yeah. So I think being a step higher as a leader does not only function in the places of employment, organization, at home, it also comes in the Chama.
Okay.
Being a step as a leader, ahead.
You know, with this pandemic, there are several people who saw opportunities for investment, and they went out and they invested, and they got some good returns. You know, whether it is issues of masks or whatever. Kuna watu walianza kusupply ndimu. You know, the other day we were trying to buy lemons. They're so expensive. I'm thinking like, what? Did you guys as a Chama ever sit down and ask yourselves, what opportunities is this situation presenting to us, and what can we do about it? Ama hiyo iliwapita tu hivi?
Let me just be true. It passed us. It passed us. As I'm telling you, we all went home to take care of them, in the sense that what will I do for myself? It passed us. That is the sincerity. Yes, it passed us.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't think. We only thought of how we can survive.
As you look forward to 2021, because 2020, the Chama you are part of has lost quite a bit of opportunities because of the pandemic. As you look into 2021, what are you guys thinking about, and what are some things maybe you've thought of doing differently?
Okay, thank you. So as we look ahead for 2021 and beyond, one of these is we need to grow our investment opportunities. So one of the ways is having liquid, it's a substantial cash that you can have a go with it. Grow our portal of the liquid cash here, so that in case of scamming, we are liquid, in the sense that we don't go back. That is one of the things. And the most of it is just getting opportunity to do business that now will enable us grow our investment opportunities.
Okay.
Because having a business, these businesses that are coming and running help us to grow our income opportunities so that we can be able to invest in the opportunities that are available. Because as a Chama, we had come to a place where now we wanted now to start developing. So we need to go back and sit and see now how will we do this development, being that 2020 has been like a stop still. So how will we do? Because we have to develop. So how are we developing? So I think that is the discussion running in our minds as individual and collectively ahead to our AGM.
Okay. I have a question here. Somebody is saying,
yes.
Okay, they're saying their Chama has at least made it through this year. But the question they're asking is, apart from getting interest from loans that are given to members, what are some other income bringing streams that Chamas can look at?
One of it I've said is doing business like we have done. It might be sometimes been challenging because maybe some of you are employed. There's that thing of who will run this business. But what we usually say, you can get a tender, you can get supplies, and if it's one of the members who is available to do that supply, you ensure that member is paid from the supply, apart from the profit that you are making as an individual. That member is cut her next time or him to run errand. And if it's not possible, get somebody to run the errands, then pay him. So you cannot just wait on interest alone. You go because the interests are not that much. Yes, for Chamas can be sometimes a lot, but not really much. So one of the things that I think is very not easy but viable is getting to do business, getting to take a supply. We are in the offices. You see an opportunity, why don't you throw it to your Chama? Sometimes you are not even able to do it as an individual, but when you are a Chama, you are able to raise the capital because you are many. Then do that business and benefit you. Yeah, because the other investments are usually long time. You're looking for 10 years, 5 years.
Yeah. When
maybe you've done real estate, maybe you have done whatever the stocks. Yeah, they are far. But one which can run immediately, for me, I believe getting into a business, a business that you do and you go, not that one. If you are able to have a business that can be put somewhere and run, well and good, but I usually find it challenging. But if you get the supplies, I find it a bit easier because it's one time to go get another one like that.
Okay. I'm just wondering, is it important when you come together as a Chama, when a Chama is beginning, is it important to have a vision?
Information or... Sorry,
I was asking, is it important when a Chama is beginning for you to have a vision of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish? Because sometimes I find a lot of Chamas just begin as merry-go-round and they get stuck there, and then maybe they proceed to giving each other loans, but they never move from there. Maybe is it because they didn't have a vision?
True. It is important to have a vision. Like I had earlier said in the previous recording that you must have a vision. You must know what your money is going to do. Tie the money that you are receiving to a goal. That is one of the things we'll accomplish. Another thing that I had wanted to add, which I believe comes under.
We are losing you again.
Well, it's called the investors, experts.
Go back a bit. We had lost you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. I'm saying that apart from trying a vision, sometimes it is important to get knowledge and get assistance from these financial experts. Let me call them.
Yeah.
There are people who are nowadays giving knowledge to Chamas and giving ideas. So as a Chama, we should also not be rigid and just be mean that we have to spend so that we can get more money.
Right.
So let us be willing to get an investor or a financial expert to come and talk to us, analyze, see what advise us, so that we can go ahead. Maybe right now I'm advising you to do business, but when you get a financial expert who comes and analyzes your situation, they might be able to advise you on other ways of making money as a chama. So it's important to seek knowledge beyond.
Okay, you know, for some people, they would consider chamas, and for some time this was the notion that a lot of people had, especially men, that chamas wanawake wanakutanaga tu huko just to gossip na kusengenya alafu wanarudi nyumbani. Maybe you, because you've been in this chama for this many years, maybe you can tell us, how has this chama helped you personally, and what would you tell somebody who's skeptical about chamas?
Okay, it's true. It also depends with the environment, and also depends where you are. I don't want to defend and say there is no gossip, or I don't want to defend, but it's good to know who you are,
yeah,
and what you want. So we have diverse chamas, and people come for different reasons. You see, as we started as a chama, and now we are an investment group. So brilliant minds, or people who have a vision, will always look into developing themselves other than things that does not make sense. But for me as an individual, I'll say it has helped me, number one, accommodate people. Hey, yeah, because we have got different personalities,
yes,
and it's there in the chamas you hear. People wanakosana. I don't know. It can be dirty, but we have managed. That is one of the things. Number two, also getting ideas, full of ideas. You learn some of the things you get to know. You go back home and apply. Or if it's, for example, it's an investment opportunity, you go to see, and you see the chama has they're not quick to run with it. With it as an individual, you can go home and run with it as a family or as a couple, depending, because you have had it there. And then that opportunity of now getting a counsel, like the way I've said, the financial experts, sometimes you get the bank coming to talk to us.
Yeah.
That is if I'm alone, the bank maybe would have to set an appointment and whatever. But when you are a group, the bank is the one is looking for. So when it comes, speaks to us, I get one thing or three that I can apply. And apart from that, you can this, or you get money to do this, you get money to build, you get money to put an investment to run. So there's financial, there's emotional, and there's also intellectual, because we have people from different.
Yeah. Okay, we are losing you again. Okay, as we try and wrap up, because of the not so stable connection for today, I don't know if you can still hear me, but as we wrap up, maybe what I would want you to share is maybe a word of encouragement. There are those people who, their chamas probably have really struggled this year. Maybe some are on the brink of deciding whether they will continue or not continue. Okay, you're back. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness, the connection is messing us up today, but I hope in what we've been able to discuss so far, you've been able to gain something from this discussion about chamas. And I love what our guest shared today, because sometimes we think it's just the financial support, but it's more than that. The chama she belongs to, all of them are born again, and so number one, they were able to offer each other during this pandemic season a lot of spiritual support, praying for each other and encouraging one another. She said 3 of them in the chama, their businesses were greatly affected, but through the other members of the chama, they were able to get encouragement, prayer, and support, and so that's a wonderful thing. And she's also mentioned the financial aspect, that they're able to come together and put their finances together and do various businesses here and there together, which you could not do if you are alone. And so for me, that is really, really an encouragement. So even as we wrap up, you know, for you, maybe if your chama was not very stable this year, let's look to next year. Don't let this year destabilize the Chama and scatter the Chama. I pray that you will encourage your members to stick together, continue working together, because this too shall pass. And the lessons that we have learned this year, let's activate them and actualize them, even as we look forward to a brand new year next year. Well, that's about it for today on the Financial Clinic. Thank you so much for your participation and the various people who sent in SMSs telling me how their chamas have fared in 2020. May the Lord bless you.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.